selecting your rig. In the RV Nomad community, you hear the term rig, which basically refers to your vehicle, whether you're going to have an official RV, a van conversion, or even live out of your car. And that's probably the most important decision that a nomad faces, because the first thing I learned in this lifestyle, and it is a lifestyle, it's a way of living, is that it is not necessarily cheaper than the conforming lifestyle of an apartment or a house. So most people who live in an apartment or a house, you would automatically assume their way is more expensive no matter what. However, it's not the case. Even a travel trailer could be more expensive living out of that than an apartment or house, because the prices of RVs are as high as houses in some instances, not all. You can buy at a cheap price below $20,000 for a travel trailer. A motorhome is probably going to be above $50,000 if we're talking new. So you have to consider so many different things with regards to the initial price, the tow vehicle, the extra gas and towing, campground fees, wear and tear, insurances, etc. So what I always tell people as a general rule is try to live out of the vehicle you currently own. Just about any vehicle other than a two-seater is doable, especially if you can put the back seats down and the front seat all the way forward. I don't recommend you remove the seats unless you're really committed to not trading the vehicle in 10 years, because you're going to really destroy the value, and you don't want to put those seats somewhere. But I would tell you to stay in the vehicle you're in. I would tell you, don't make an initial purchase that will put you behind the eight ball if you're getting into the nomad life to pay off debt, which that played a part. I wanted to pay off debt. I wanted to be debt-free. I finally achieved that goal this year. And I'm very cautious to ever go back into debt. I think about that often. Would I ever go back into debt? And I haven't fully decided, but I really don't think I want to, because I have so many more options when I don't owe anyone anything. I have more freedom, more flexibility, and I like that. And the simple life requires a level of intention and discipline. Even if you can afford it, it's not wisdom to buy an expensive rig. Why? Because look, you can afford a lot of things in life. You can afford to get approved maybe for a $200,000, $100,000 mortgage. You can afford maybe to get approved for a $50,000 truck, a $100,000 RV. But just because you can get approved for it, just because you can afford it now, doesn't always mean it's the simplest, best thing. You can get laid off tomorrow. You can have an illness tomorrow. And you should enjoy your money. You should enjoy your time on this earth. It's said that you should enjoy the fruits of your labor. But there has to be a caution, especially when it comes to your rig. Especially if you're trying to get ahead financially, trying to pay off debt, if you have other goals, trying to retire early. What are your goals? You should always ask yourself those questions when you're getting into the nomadic lifestyle. I mean, any lifestyle, but your goals are a compass. Sometimes you have to smack yourself because we get off track. Smack yourself in your mind, you know what I mean? And say, why am I doing this? Maybe you're just doing this because it's your best option. Maybe your only other option is subsidized housing or a homeless shelter. So maybe say living in my car is a better option. That's it. Maybe you're doing it because you just got through a divorce. Maybe you're trying to retire early. Maybe you're trying to take more risk. Say, I'm young, I'm single, I want to start a business, I want to do whatever. I'm going to live in my car. I'm working a night shift. I'm going to live in an RV. I just like the lifestyle. Some people just like the lifestyle of the RV nomadic lifestyle more than a conforming life. It doesn't really have much to do with money. What are your goals? What are your reasons? That should partly determine what type of rig, what type of vehicle you choose. Your exit strategy. Your exit strategy needs to be thought of when you make your entry. There's always wisdom in understanding how you're going to get out of something, because it puts less pressure on you. When you get into something but you have no exit strategy, you don't know how to get out of it, you're trapped. Nothing worse in life than feeling trapped. So give that some thought. What's your plan if you don't like the nomadic lifestyle? What's your plan if you get hurt? What's your plan if you get too old to live on the road? What's your exit strategy? That should also play a part in your rig, because you have to think about, if I don't want this vehicle anymore, this RV, car, van, what's going to be the possible trade-in value? How hard will it be to trade in? If you go buy a school bus and convert it to an RV, that's not easy to liquidate, meaning that's not easy to sell. So your exit strategy will be tougher. It may take months or years to sell a school bus that's converted to a house. Think about that. Give it some thought. It'll serve you in your future. Your rig, your vehicle. Will you buy it cash or will you do payments? Have you got a quote on your insurance? You should get a quote. Will you be full-time or part-time? Your insurance will ask you that. Are you full-time or part-time? If you have an RV, if you're going to get RV insurance, they're going to ask you that. Count the cost. Estimate your fuel. Estimate your campground fees. Counting the cost before you do anything in life is wisdom. There's a scripture in the Bible that says that before you start building something, count the full cost. Why? You don't want to start something and then look foolish. Really, it's not about looking foolish, because who cares what people think? Who cares what people think? But you don't want to live a foolish life. Why hurt yourself? Why do self-induced suffering? Be a little bit wiser. Have fun, but be a little bit wiser. Your rig will probably not be with you forever. Nothing in this world is forever. The average person trades in their RV every 3 to 5 years. Same thing with a regular car. So if most people trade in their vehicle every 3 to 5 years, are you different than most people? What's your recurring pattern in your life? How long have you had your current car? When's the last time you traded that in? If you look at the patterns of your life, you may be able to project some future patterns. Don't overinvest. Have an exit strategy. Give your goals some thought. It'll just serve you better. The simple life, while it sounds very good and fun, it's also a little bit of a discipline, because humans complicate things sometimes because of emotion. And emotion is good. It separates us from robot. So at the same time, though, we don't want to just be emotional and not have logic. We want to find balance. Balance is always the key word in life. What vehicle brings you balance? Now, I will say that I'm extreme right now. For 3 years, I've lived out of this Jeep Renegade, and it's extreme, especially when it's hot and cold, but it still serves my goals, which is try to retire early, remain debt-free. At the time I bought this car, I was still in debt, but I didn't buy this car thinking of living in it. I owned a house and had this car a couple years before I started living in it. But my goals were basically be debt-free, try to retire early, have alternate sources of revenue, and DoorDash is one of that. That's why I like to keep a regular vehicle in case I need to DoorDash. If you get an RV, a motorhome specifically, you won't be able to DoorDash or Uber. Maybe you get a travel trailer and you tow something and your tow vehicle is still efficient enough. Think about that. My Jeep can tow 2,000 pounds. I think I may eventually upgrade to a travel trailer. I really don't like the idea of towing something, so I get cautious with that. But I like the idea that it's cheap, it fulfills all my goals, and it keeps me on track with my goals, with my purpose on trying to live this lifestyle. So I hope as I run these things through, verbally expressing them in this video, that they help you, they jar your mind, they get you thinking, get your juices flowing. And thank you again for watching. Thank you for clicking a thumbs up. Thank you to all my members who support this small channel. I appreciate you. If you would like to be a member, click that blue join button. Every day I go live. You get unlimited live chat access, a custom badge, custom emojis. Thank you for watching. Check out my Nomad playlist. I'll see you guys in the next video. Peace and love.